Hey colleagues, how you doing? I want to talk about something that I did in class today. It's kind of a mini sermon, kind of a woodenization thing. So if you've read The Will to Learn, this is kind of a riff on two of those strategies together. So here's what my students were doing. They were beginning their first set of test corrections. This was our Unit 1 test that happened today. I'm filming this September 10th of 2024. So we just got done with Unit 1, just got our first look at college board level multiple choice questions. And just for context, this is a ninth grade only AP World History class. It's open enrollment. I got about 35 kids per section, 2 sections of that, my teaching load this year. And so, the ninth graders, they haven't seen anything like the complexity of a college board style AP History multiple choice test. And basically what they're encountering on that test is a pretty chunky passage, followed by a pretty complex question stem, followed by 4 really complex answer choices. And there's just a lot of cognitive processes that have to happen and a lot of knowledge that my students still don't have to do well on those multiple choice questions. So this is why test corrections are so important. I want to give them looks at these types of questions every single unit because we need to get used to the way that the College Board poses questions to us. And so as I handed out these test correction forms right after they completed the assessment, I said, this is really, really important. I want you guys to look up here and look at this mountain that I've drawn. So at the time, there was nothing written down. It was just a mountain. And I said, what do you think is at the top of that mountain for me as your teacher? What am I guiding you towards every single day? How many of you guys think that it might be getting a good grade? Some hands go up and say, no, I want you to get a good grade, but actually that's just going to be a nice byproduct of where we're going. And then I said, what else do you guys think? And some people say, well, you want us to pass the AP exam or earn college credit. I said, actually, believe it or not, that's not even the top of the mountain that we're after. That's going to be a nice side effect of what we're after. But what we're actually after is, in one of my classes, one of the students raised her hand. She said, I think it's mastery. I think it's mastery. Yeah, there we go. I think that it's mastery. And I said, bingo. That is what every single lesson, every learning experience, every type of practice that we do, that's what I'm aiming at all of the time. Everything. So I never at any point in this year want you doing busy work. I never at any point in this year I'm going to be giving you stuff to do that's just to improve your grade. It's always going to be aimed at mastery. So when we do these test corrections, yes, doing these test corrections is going to help improve your grade. Absolutely. But the reason that we're doing these is because I want you to look at these answer explanations that College Board gives you, and I want you to really think about what they mean. And when you're confused, I want you to ask me questions. And so the test correction sheet that we use is it's a really, really basic format. And so I modeled for them how to do one of these, and we were looking at an answer explanation on College Board's website, looking at their most missed question on the assessment that we took. And so I showed them exactly how to go through and try to understand first why you picked the answer that you picked. So I looked at the most popular wrong answer and I said, there's some things about that wrong answer that I really think are smart. It's smart that you picked that because, in this case, the students were looking for evidence that the author used to support a claim that they made in the last paragraph. And the answer choice that they picked most commonly, the incorrect answer choice, was kind of a secondary argument that the writer was making, but it wasn't evidence used to support that initial primary argument. So it's a really, really hard question. There's just a lot of nuance and layers of thinking that the College Board is asking them to do. And so I modeled for them how to do test corrections for that question in a way that supports them gaining a better understanding of the task. And I know if you're watching this, you might be thinking, well, multiple choice questions, what's the point of those? You never see those in real life. Or you might be thinking, I don't teach an AP class. What's the point of this for me? The point of this for all of us is that any type of assessment that we're using to give our students to demonstrate mastery, any type of assessment that it is, whatever it is, it's super important to help students to unpack their outcomes. That's another strategy in The Will to Learn. I know I bring up the book a lot on my YouTube channel here, but that's because that book is my playbook. I did not just write that for fun. I wrote that to help myself to focus on fewer things and weave those things into my daily practice. And so in this case today, I guess I'm actually doing 3 of the strategies in the book. I'm doing a mini sermon because I'm talking to them about where we're going, why that's valuable, why other things that they value are actually lesser, like good grades or college credit. They're not bad, they're just lesser than mastering the material. That's the stuff of mini sermons. And then with woodenization, I'm making really clear. You go from that big, lofty mini sermon, you say, This is what it actually looks like to work towards mastery when you're doing test corrections. And as they do that, I'm guiding them to unpack outcomes, good or bad. And in this case, they're focused just on the outcomes that weren't so great, questions that they got wrong. So there you go, rant concluded. Hopefully it's helpful to at least one other human being in the world. Thank you for watching.